Alright, quick update on Solana. So not really too much is happening today. If we come over to the daily, you can see that we are just having a very minor correction. I'm not really worried about this at all. You can see it's down about 5% on the daily. I imagine this has been coming down a little bit because Bitcoin has had a 2% correction on the daily. So all in all, there's really nothing to worry about. If we look at what's going on with Bitcoin, Bitcoin still has a higher low trajectory. We are still putting in a very nice ascending formation. I mean, we just keep on heading up and up and up. We come down for these slight dips and then continue on the rise, and you can see this with Solana. When we do have these corrections on Solana since this big uptrend did start, we haven't really had more than 2 red candles coming in. So I imagine by tomorrow or the 6th, which is in 2 days time, I imagine we'd be starting to head up. Now if we come over to the 4-hourly candles as well, we've now got like 3 data points on this, so I thought I'd connect this. You can still see Solana is in a super bullish uptrend, so I'm really not worried at all about this slight correction we've had on Solana. It still has a higher low trajectory where we're putting in higher lows, and we're also putting in higher highs every time we do go up. So I do think Solana is going to get ready for a big move up to the upside. If we come over to the Sol BTC pair, I mean, you can see Sol against Bitcoin has really gone massively parabolic. So I really don't think there's anything to worry about. Looking on the daily, I mean, we've basically gone up in a straight line. You can see this is really your area of resistance. This is the 200-day moving average. This is why we highlighted once we do hop over the 200-day, there's really not much in the way of Solana taking over and heading up to the all-time high for Bitcoin. So I imagine it might take a short period of time for Solana priced against Bitcoin to hop over this 200-day moving average. It may take a week, it may take a couple of months, but once we do head over the top of this 200-day, I think it's going to be a very smooth ride for Solana to be taking back the all-time high position against Bitcoin. So Solana against BTC, very minor red candle in this sea of green, really not worrying. And then once again, coming over to the daily against the USD, very tiny red candle in this sea of green as well. So yeah, I mean, there's really nothing to worry about. If we come over to the weekly, switch over to the Heikin-Ashis, you can still see Solana is in a very nice green uptrend on the Heikin-Ashis. We've only started the week today, so Solana has a lot of potential to move to the upside in my opinion. Once again, I like to use the Heikin-Ashis because they very well define when we're in an uptrend, and they very well define when we're in a downtrend. And you can see the past 2 weeks we've had ascending green volume coming in for Solana. This is only Monday. So really nothing to worry about. I think within the next week we are going to continue to push up. I think this is a very slight retest of these very small of these very small trend line that is ascending. And you can still see on the Heikin-Ashi we've got good volume coming in, and you know, we haven't even turned red on the Heikin-Ashi, so we are still increasing. There's really nothing to worry about in my opinion. And yeah, that's basically all I see for Solana. I have my eyes on 150. Once we manage to flip 150, I think, you know, it is going to be a very nice tear up to the previous all-time high. We've also got the 618 at 190. That could be a key area of resistance. But once again, 150, I think this is your moon line. We obviously basically have been calling this bottom for a very long time, this triple bottom structure. And if we come back to the previous time where Solana put in a triple bottom and went on a massive rally, you can see it did something similar. It basically just went up in a straight line for a couple of weeks. If we look at what's going on right now, we went up in a straight line for a couple of weeks. And then if we look at the correction we had back in the day during Solana's bull run to the all-time high, you can see this lasted approximately 5 days before we started shooting back above it. So 5 days to a week, that is what I'll give this this downtrend. It may not even last that long, but you know, worst comes to worst, we could just correct out of this, take a 5-day break, You know, we don't have to hold this uptrend line. I say this in all my videos, I'm not really the biggest fan of drawing, you know, these imaginary uptrend lines in the sand. If I do draw lines, they're normally horizontal lines to represent resistance. Apart from that, I'm not the biggest fan of trading just lines and saying, oh, if we break below this line, then, you know, it's over, we're going to zero. You know, if you watch my analysis, the creme de la creme of my analysis is moving averages and mainly Fibonacci retracements. That's what I like to trade on. Based on the macro Fibonacci's that I'm looking at right now, we're miles above the 618 fib. So Solana's incredibly bullish. Smaller time frames, we're having a very, very slight correction. And you know, this could even come down to 112, and I really wouldn't be worried if we came back down and back tested the 112. It's really not the end of the world. Like I said, the last time we had this correction, from when we topped out, it only took, you know, 5 days or so. So I would give this maximum a week, up to the 9th of April. If we look at the calendar, see when the 9th of April is, I imagine this will be picking up again by the weekend. So that's what I see for Solana. We could start heading up as soon as tomorrow, but like I said, really worst case scenario, we take 7 days breather, we might come down to the 112, and then I reckon we'll be getting ready for the next big move up for Solana. So once again, Solana against Bitcoin, incredibly bullish. We've basically gone up in a straight line. Once we take out the 200-day moving average, I think the next target is basically the all-time high of Solana priced against Bitcoin. That's a 60% increase from where we are now. And then yeah, Solana against the US dollar might take a couple of days to correct to the side, especially if Bitcoin wants to take its sweet time, which it normally does. If Bitcoin accumulates to the side, backtests this and has a double bottom trajectory, we could be Wing out, and then that would be a very nice sign to see for the total crypto market cap, including Solana. So Solana looks great in my opinion. We're still in a massive uptrend. That's all I see for Solana. Best of luck if you're in, best of luck if you're planning on getting in. And once again, none of this is financial advice, just my opinion on the market. And you've always got to do what's best for you. Cowboy out. Peace.